Thank you all for coming. We want to say welcome to this special edition. Special in the sense that we usually brief you on Fridays, but this one involves trending national issues that have been unfolding between Friday and today, Monday. So for more details, turn over to DCP H. Moses Carter for more explanation.
Well, let me say thanks to one of the high-ranking officers of the media relations section of the Liberia National Police for the introduction. Like you said, usually we brief you on Fridays, but we thought that on the basis of the necessity to have you briefed on trending issues, we thought that we will have you here at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police to inform you, members of the press, the public, about some key national issues that the public needs to know. And so it is with this that we've invited you. I want to, on behalf of the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police and the entire leadership of the Liberia National Police, say to all of you, you are welcome once again on this Monday at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, where usually when we invite you, members of the press, is basically to provide you some information, useful information that you can pass on to the public. Having said that, I would like to, this is just sidetracking. I would like to appreciate, those of you members of the press, especially from various print and electronic as well as social media institutions, that have remained very, very committed to providing quality information about updates from the Liberia National Police to the public. We are following your work. We're very appreciative. We were very happy recently that one of your own colleagues was privileged to have been singled out by the United States government. I'm talking about MASA, for the kind of quality reporting that she is continuing to provide to the public. I want to use this time also to say thank you so much. We are very proud of your hard work media-wise in providing quality information to the public. And we want to encourage all of you members of the press to know that whatever you are doing, you are being followed. And even if you are not recognized now, your recognition is going to come in due time. So on behalf of the leadership of the police, we want to say we appreciate you and we look forward to a very good relationship with you in this year 2021. Having said that, I will go straight into why you are called here today. This morning, we were alerted of a sad, or you may say, a tragic incident where one of our citizens was found lying unconscious in the SKD community. Not SKD, but Boulevard 72nd community. Specifically, this citizen was a resident of the Rock Hill GSA community. She was identified as one Florence Massaquoi, 46 years old, and was seen lying in the 72nd Boulevard community. Our officers or investigators were alerted by our community residents. We moved in with our forensic team as well as our homicide team, and there was a huge, crowd of people. We managed to make contact with the family of the Liberian female. An agreement was made. Madam Massaquoi, peace be to her ashes, was pronounced dead by nurses at our police clinic at our police academy in the same 72nd community. Being pronounced dead, Madam Massaquoi's remains was taken through a unanimous agreement between the police and the family. Her remains was taken to the Maureen Kefat Funeral Home in Caldwell, where forensic examination is being conducted to establish whether there was foul play or not. And our officers, as well as our investigators, along with the family members, are doing such forensic investigation together. Family members are witnessing the examination, and if there's any foul play, they will be alerted, the public will be informed, and investigation will be conducted in making sure that those connected any way, anyhow, to the death of this citizen of our country will be made to face the full weight of the law. In this vein, we urge members of the public to remain very calm and desist from making statements that will undermine this investigation. We also urge members of the public to provide us any useful information to our investigators that will lead us to ensuring that this matter will reach a logical conclusion where perpetrators or perpetrator will be made to face the full weight of the law in connection to the death of our citizen Madam Massacre. And so, with not much ado, I'd like to extend our deepest condolences to the family, sympathizers, friends of this deceased Liberian female. We pray the best for all of those who are mourning her death, and we can assure you that justice will be served in this matter. Distinguished members of the press, our attention has also been drawn to the death of one of our citizens who was allegedly mobbed in the Zeze community in Painesville. Our investigators are currently in the Zeze community. This morning we had some serious tension in the Zeze community, but our officers moved in and neutralized the tension amicably, and we're working to making sure that those responsible are made to face the full weight of the law. We can only urge members of the public to remain very calm as all is being done to investigate the matter. Finally, members of the press and those of you following us on social media, we are also pleased to inform you of some trending reports that were, placed on social media. And I'm quite sure some of you may have followed it, and some of you following us on social media must have come across said report of a child that was allegedly starved by his parents. In this case, the child is still alive, as opposed to the last incident where the child was allegedly starved to death and the parents of said child have been charged and forwarded to court. So in this case, our investigators of the report that was on the People's TV, let me be specific, there was some report carried on the People's TV of a child that was said to have been starved by his parents. The report went viral, was shared on individual pages, and our investigators took it very serious and launched a robust investigation establishing the authenticity of the report. That report is up, and from all indication, we'd like to inform you, members of the press and the public, that it was established that the child has medical issues. Medical issues. And those issues that the child is confronted with are not issues that we can say to you publicly on the basis of personal terms. But we can only say to you that the child is faced with medical issues. To the understanding of the family, to the understanding of community residents and some members of the press, have already gotten to understand the issues that the child is faced with. But it's not for us to say to you because it has some personal terms. All right? And we are very much grateful to the press and members of the community for the way in which people are speaking out. So that we want to say to residents, community residents, especially the ones that are involved with bad behaviors or coming into conflict with the law, engaging themselves into acts that run contrary to human dignity. Be mindful. Today we have, our society is driven by the social media. A lot of folks in communities have Android phones, and they are speaking out. They are revealing things that are happening in communities. Be mindful. It is a caveat. Those that are engaged in acts that come in conflict with the law, be mindful. Don't think that people will now sit and allow you to do things that are out of the law and go with impunity. That is not going to happen. Be mindful so that you don't come in conflict with the law. Because when you do, the law will take its course. We will not hesitate to ensure that anyone who is involved in any unorthodox acts will escape. Said person or persons will be made to face the full weight of the law. It is with this, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, I want to appreciate you for this full house coming to get these briefings before the close of day. We will certainly brief you on the outcome of the forensic examination that is being conducted on the remains of Madam Masekwe, who was found lying this morning in the 72nd community. And some other necessary updates will be provided you members of the press. Thank you so much. God bless you. And if you have a few questions, you're welcome.
I want to take 6 questions, please. 6. Yeah, first one.
Yeah, Mr. Carter, my name is Augustine Peter of Information Africa News. You just said before the close of the day, the press or the public will be briefed with the investigation of the forensic evidence. So my question is, why is the police taking the mysterious death of this man so seriously that within 24 hours they are about to death and he is ill? That she is a government official or first class citizen. Why?
There's a good question you asked, Augustine, of the Front Page Africa. In these situations, this is it's a new year and we come with new vigor. And that is not to say that we've, played some laissez-faire on other cases of the past. But it's important that the public get briefed proactively. It's unfortunate that we have citizens, especially one of our citizens, found dead or lying unconscious, and then we don't brief you. It will be very unfortunate. So the essence of this, briefing is basically to have you acquainted of police actions, what police has done so far, and what police will do going from this briefing. And it's not in any way to suggest that this individual in question has some extra profile, because by the way, it is not established that this individual has any extra profile. but it's basically to ensure that you are proactively briefed and that the public is given necessary information, timely information. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Carter, in connection to this one, I want to know the level of support the police is giving to the wash teams. Because these are people you found in every part of the community where in terms of issues, they will be on the hand to give first-hand information. And maybe in this case, if they're right there, they're going to give the police. So I want to know the working relationship with the community.
Okay, so we have a very good working relationship with the community watch team. As a matter of fact, the procedure to setting up a community watch team is very clear. The police has to be involved with the vetting process. Why is that so? Because we want to make sure that those who serve in a watch team do not come to the watch team with criminal records. Because if that happens, they will be the ones shielding criminals. So the police is involved with the vetting process, with the training processes of people who serve in the watch team in various communities. And I can assure you that, like I said, the public, we can only urge the public to remain very calm as we do everything possible to make sure that, you know, the outcome of the forensic examination is out, and if it shows foul play, you can rest assured that we're going to leave no stone unturned in talking to anyone possible to make sure we can get to the bottom of this.
Okay, my name is P. Nas Mova from ABC Radio. In recent times, we have seen too many crimes, too many deaths, ranging from suicide, murder, and manslaughter. Is it safe to say that we live in a society, a Liberian society that is highly criminal minded, and the safety is not guaranteed to the citizen? And what has been the role of the Liberian National Police in ensuring not just arresting the crime, but to also work with the community to ensure that crimes are minimized, especially murder?
Okay, it's a very good question, Peanuts. Here is the issue. It would be very unfortunate for us to say that Liberia remains an unsafe society. No country, and I have to be emphatic about this, no country in the world is free of crimes. No country in the world. Statistically, if you look at, Liberia compared to other countries in the West African region, we're doing pretty well. And in this week, we'll be definitely releasing to you our crime statistics this week. So when you speak to the issue of crime, you'll be more statistical, other than just, on the basis of sentiments, speaking to the fact that, Liberia, the crime rate is growing high or not. And we'll provide you, as the time goes by, we'll provide you regular statistics of crimes in Liberia. But I can tell you from our own vantage point, from the police vantage point, that we are doing well with the issue of fighting crimes in Liberia. The issue of people being found in the street dead, and some other persons, committing suicide and all of that. Those things are things that are happening all over the world. What we can only do is to increase our efforts to engage communities. Like she asked about community policing efforts. So we are encouraging communities to prioritize setting up watch teams. The police is not able to do everything. The essence of setting up the watch team is to back up the efforts of the police. Where we are not, the community watch team will be there as an eye and ear of the police and will be able to assist us with useful information. It might interest some of you to know that there are some communities that do not have watch teams. And it's really sad. So we are encouraging communities, set up your watch team. Because when you set up your watch team, to a large extent, it will help you, go to bed safe and sound. Because when the criminals know that there are watch team members out in the community, it also serves as a deterrent factor, for crimes. So please, if you're following us, please set up your watch team. And we are ever ready. The police is ever ready to work with any community that wants to set up its watch team and to make sure that we can have trained men and women that are willing to serve in watch teams.
Yeah, Martha.
Thank you very much. My name is Martha and I work for OKFM.
body and taking it for forensic examination. But I'm quite sure that this lady, Madam Florence Massacre, I'm quite sure as investigator or member of the LMP, you might have gotten clue to at least some of the inquiry that I want to make right now, which has to do with if she was married, if she had a relationship, and where she slept last night, or what are the neighbors saying before the body reached that area, where they found it this morning. We said she lives in the Rockland community, and then I'm quite sure people have visited the area, and I've spoken with neighbors. What are they saying about this woman? Where was she yesterday? And how come we just discovered her body this morning? That's my first question. And then the second is you talk about a mob incident in the community. You didn't give her the name of the victim, and then the other incident with his child that is allegedly stabbed by the parents. No name for those two.
Okay, so let's start with the first question. Talking about the preliminary findings we have so far from our investigative standpoint. We're approaching the investigation with on a step-to-step basis. We were alerted this morning of this Liberian who was found lying unconscious. So like I said, step to step. The first step, basically, like I said to one of the local traditional media, the police does not have the power to pronounce anyone dead. It is medical people who have the power to pronounce anyone dead. So the first thing we did was we invited our nurses of our police clinic. They pronounced Madam Massacre dead. First step. Second step, we sat with the family. What can we do? The family was like, okay, there was a unanimous decision made to have, the body taken to the, Kefat Funeral Home somewhere in Caldwell for forensic examination in the presence of family members. Like I said, that is also ongoing. With the outcome of the forensic investigation, the next step is basically, from a criminal investigative perspective, is to begin to put the puzzles together. What do I mean? Is to start talking to, community residents, some of the places that she must have contacts with, getting of call logs to make sure that who she spoke to, before her demise. And so all of that is being considered while the investigation continues. That is why I said we can only ask members of the public to please give us their cooperation and desist from making, statements that will undermine the investigation. So the other question of the kid, of the guy from the Zizi community, the identity of the deceased is yet to be, established. All right, that's why we didn't give it to you. So to talk about the kid in question, talking about medical issues, I also told you that there were some medical issues that we cannot provide to you. And if we could not provide to you some of those medical issues, it also means that we cannot provide you, some specific identity of the individual based on, some confidentiality and all of that. All right, that's why we did not provide
How
you.
long the investigation will take? Because delay, talking about collecting callers, talking to people, and then the delay to that makes
You see, and trust me, and trust me, this is where I really want you members of the press to help the police by educating the members of the public about how investigations are conducted, especially some of you who cover the police. Investigations are not specific time bound. That is to say, we started the investigation today. Before the end of the week, we will give you result. When you do that, Master, what happens is when you don't provide the outcome before the end of the week, it becomes an issue. Why is it so? Why investigations are not specific time bound? It has to do a lot of consultations. It has to do a lot of people availing themselves to provide information, because some of the cases that we break are not cases that we break in isolation. We do them, in consonance with information from the what? from the community. To be frank with you, there are times some community people are tied up on issues. We can understand some of the apprehensions that they have, but that's why we are encouraging them. Very soon, we are launching our Citizens Academy. What is this Citizens Academy? This is a program that is taking place in most of the countries around the world right now. The Citizens Academy. It is an academy that will teach citizens about basic policing, how investigations are conducted, riot control, when police use force, to dispel a crowd, and all of that. So the Citizens Academy will go a long way in helping citizens understand the workings of the police, so that some of the conclusions that are reached, especially uninformed conclusions, will not be reached. But because we have some other citizens that will be there to say, well, that is not the case. This is the real, case. So we're gradually getting there, but we cannot be specific. Just to answer your question, to say this investigation will take 1 week or 2 weeks.
Yeah. My name is Neva. I work for the Youth Public Trust. I have 2 questions, and one has to do with whether your preliminary investigation that you did on the crime scene this morning, whether you observed that the deceased was alleged murder or where she was being lying down, or the incident occurred somewhere else. And number 2, from the crime scene, did you observe any torso tissue and those who alleged?
Okay, so this is where the work of forensics, come in. You got something called physical, forensics. Physical forensics. So yes. So I'm just trying to say, all of this is going to be captured in the forensic report. So the forensic investigator responded to the scene must have taken into consideration where the body was lying, the physical, structure of the body, whether the body was tampered with, whether there were bruises on the skin of the deceased or not. It is with the forensics to establish that. And that's why I said before the close of day, we'll definitely make a follow update on the report from the forensics. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Renzi S2.
I think Fabing is having please recognize it.
Yeah, my question has to do with in terms of first hand or investigation. Or you told us that you talked to the people, the agreement was signed and they took the party to the favor. I want to know, in signing the agreement with the people, whether you didn't ask them, they don't know whether she's married or when was that last time seeing her before she phoned them?
You see,
that's what the question.
You see, it's like there's something called putting the cat before the house. Our investigators, like I told you, what is happening right now, the forensic examination is being conducted. They responded to the scene this morning. They are conducting the forensic examination. Before the close of day, we'll update you on preliminary findings. So right now, I cannot sit here and tell you findings, because the forensic team, as well as the homicide team, is currently working to ensuring that, the examination is conducted. So before the close of day, you will be updated. I would just appreciate that we allow before the close of day to provide you outcome from the forensic team, so that we don't provide you one information and come back and say another thing. Okay?
Yeah, but we said my name is Bobby back to the kids that was in elections you said there are reports that the shooting was a problem, absolutely certain, because the police charge sheet that came from there indicated that the child has suffered from epilepsy from the state of performance. What is so personal about the report that you refused to let it go in the first case?
I am so sorry, Fabi. There are succeeding cases. Emmanuel Brown, the first case involved one resident called Emmanuel Brown. He and his fiancée were alleged of starving their child to death, and the child died. Right? So that case has been forwarded to court. Initially, we had informed you, members of the press, that from the coroner's report, and we just like to make it very clear, the coroner works under the Ministry of Justice. They work along with the police, but they make report to the Ministry of Justice. The coroner goes to a crime scene, maybe a homicide scene, and does examination and presents its report to the Ministry of Justice. So in the coroner report, they have said, well, they did not see any physical, evidence to prove that there was foul play. But the police went beyond the coroner report and talked to, community residents as well as, some friends to actually establish the claim of starvation. And from all indication, claim of starvation from a probable cause was established. That is why the father and the stepmother were charged with negligent homicide and facilitation. And they are currently now being remanded. They are currently remanded at the Monrovia Central Prison. The second instance was a report that also came up on a weekend, or you may say Sunday, I think it was Sunday, of another child. And so that is what I said. From all indication of preliminary findings show that the child suffered medical issues. And those medical issues are not issues that we can divulge to you, members of the press and the public. Yeah.
Yeah, what's that? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you very much. Let me just talk about the crime rate. It's not a secret in Liberia that citizens are tolerant as criminals, particularly during the night hours. So I would like to ask you, Mr. Carter, how effective is the anti-robbery scrap, particularly with this information about lack of mobility for that?
Oh no, your question is very excellent. I can say to you, members of the press, it's important that you go with this. We need you to raise this. It's very important. The police right now has limited mobility. Limited mobility. Most of our vehicles are defective. Most of our vehicles are defective. And to procure new vehicles, it has to be done through the budgetary process. That's why we are asking you, members of the press, to make a case for the police, to the legislature, the government of Liberia. One of the ways we can become more effective in fighting crime is the issue of mobility. We need it. But I can tell you, we are not sitting here at headquarters and complaining. We are working. Our anti-robbery team is very robust in fighting crime. Very robust. Sometimes last week and week after last, as a matter of fact, we are carrying on regular raiding exercises. And these raiding exercises are yielding results. We can only ask for more support from the public, from the legislature, from the government, so that the issue of mobility is something we can work on. We need motorbikes, enough motorbikes. We need vehicles, enough vehicles, that we can be able to swiftly respond to crime scenes and make sure that the issue of fighting crime in Liberia is something that is seriously prioritized. Absolutely not. I said to you in my latter comments that we are not sitting here and complaining. Our statutory response, or you can get out there and tell our citizens, you are making a dead mistake. We will come for you. And you will be made to face the full weight of the law. Thank you.
Last question, please.
Yeah, my name is Yasa Chilbright. I'm concerned about first the police charge sheet from Emmanuel
Brown.
And
Now Emmanuel down before.
Emmanuel Brown.
Yeah.
And the police charge sheet stated that he was staffed for like 6 months. According to the investigation, he was staffed for 6 months. And later on, he was rushed to MSF hospital where he died on arrival. So it's confusing today to hear from another police angle that 2 different cases that the police is putting out that he ran the police charge.
No, it's not the same charge. I hope you guys are understanding this. It's another charge. There are 2 different cases. One, we have already sent the matter to court. The other one just came out somewhere either Saturday or Sunday. So those are the 2 different cases. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.